How many times are we gonna do this? Honestly, Marvel is doing another soft reboot of the X-Men in the middle of the previous soft reboot of the X-Men. From Games Radar, quote, in 2021, Marvel Comics will be revisiting one of the 90s biggest X-Men mysteries with new X-Men comics, and they've tapped one of the 90s biggest X-Men writers to do it. Deadpool co-creator Fabian Nicieza returns to the blue and gold era of the X-Men for an in-continuity flashback sussing out the mystery of the third Summers brother in a new ongoing series titled X-Men's Legend #1. Didn't y'all just do the X-Men 90s comic? Didn't Claremont do this twice with two different ongoing X-Men series that both carried on from when he left in the 90s? Why are y'all rehashing the same thing again? I'm not even mad about it. I think it's a cool idea to finish up the plot with the guy who came up with the storyline, but you're in the middle of whatever Hickman is doing with his Plantman story arc. This is going to make this so confusing because this is supposed to be in continuity, but it sounds like Fabian isn't going to use Gabriel Summers as the third Summers brother. How is that even going to work since Gabriel is being presented as a third brother in the current books? Now y'all going to have to retcon a decade of stories to try to make this make sense, and then ignore what just happened in Hickman's books. This is just a mess, not just from trying to make it work in continuity, but also because this is basically an admission that whatever the current stuff Marvel is doing with the X-Men isn't getting over. There's no other reason to bring in Fabian or Chris Claremont or Louise Simonson or Larry Hama or Peter David other than that they know what they're doing, what they do works, and readers really love their stories. I thought Hickman's run was selling well, but maybe it's not. We haven't gotten any solid numbers since the beginning of the year, and those wouldn't be helpful anyway because the books are just starting. This move makes me think that someone at Marvel finally realized that there's something about the 90s X-Men that just made them cool, and there's nothing wrong with going back to that. And I could talk about that, but that's not really why I made this video. And to be honest, you're not listening to me anyway. You looking at this pinup by Brett Booth, and you've been staring at it the whole time because you can see what I can see. You can't miss it. Just look at it. Go ahead. You got it? You see it? Havoc is fucking Cyclops. In the ass. So hard he's shooting eye beams out his eyes. Look at their faces. Why are you in his ass? That's your brother. I thought this was called X-Men Legends, not X-Men Incest. What the fuck and why? Brett. You knew what you drew when you drew it. You couldn't have missed it. Why did you draw this? This shit is gayer than a bag of Skittles. Why did you draw this? You can't unsee it. You can't. It's like a bad porn movie. Like, in a world where mutants were scorned, their love was forbidden. Their powers may cancel each other out, but their feelings can't. Scott, older brother, bottom lover, and Alex, young and virile, inflame their hidden passions in their search for their other brother. You know what they say. Third one's a charm. X-Men Legends, coming, slow, deep, and frothing to a comic store, buried inside you. But what do I know? I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy.